Good morning, everyone. Well, here we are. Good morning, Chase and Carrie, the world traveler. It's good to have you back. And Cavell, we are all here. Yesterday was such a powerful day. We seemed like we talked about so many things. And if anybody had questions about any of those things, you can certainly write them in the comment page and we'll have a conversation about it. So I'm going to add a few things. We're going to go back to having an angel day at least once a week. And here's Carol. Hello, everybody. So I will give you those details most likely tomorrow. And we are going to be blessed this week, I believe, to have Douglas Creed join us. He is one of the best intuitives I know, and he's going to come join us on our morning, and it might be a little bit more than half an hour the day he's here. Good morning, Julie. And yes, I'm keeping track of everyone's name this week to put you in for the free half-hour reading. So a lot of things are changing. So we'll have some days that we have conversation. And right now I'm going to start with one angel day because I know how everyone enjoyed them. And we'll see where we're going to go from there. I'll probably still not work on Fridays. So there you go. I hope that works for you. And if you have anything particular, I know Barbara Ward had mentioned learning the chakras. And I am working on figuring out how I can do that. Well, Michelle, haven't seen you for a while. Good morning. Working that out, how we can do it maybe on a private experience and sharing that with individuals. You might not know Michelle now, but every time you come this week, your name gets put into a hat, and then I pull a name who gets a half an hour free reading from me, healing, whichever you want it to be. Pure positive energy. Good to see you back. And perhaps I will give you an angel reading today. I was just saying how I'm going to bring back a day of angel readings, probably one day this week. I'm not sure when. So there, we're all caught up. I got everyone's names down here. Pure positive. So certainly it's let's get our energy set and then we'll talk. All right. So on this beautiful day, everywhere in the world, for no matter what's going on, I know there's beauty within souls that is radiating out. And we'll be grateful to call in Mother and Father to come and sit with us on this day. And we'll call in the angelic kingdom and all the ascended masters. And be welcoming those who are students from around the universe that would like to come and to listen to what we have to say. Questions and answers. So let's do our mantra. I am the soul. I am the light divine. I am love. I am will. I am fixed design. And let's take and breathe that in. Very good. Now, my first curiosity is, yesterday we talked about becoming higher consciousness, and I took you on an experience of bringing light in and expanding it out and beginning to learn how to hold that light, because light is what represents higher consciousness. When you can be seen and your light flashes and your aura has grown and expanded. Why? Because you're healing those patterns that are within you. Every time you can address something that's going on in your life and bring light and love to it and transform it, another level of light comes out into your aura. So just for a remembrance, let's sit here for a minute and do it again and see how that feels. Let me just move my thing here. Very good. So we're going to bring our hands together. And when we're calling to Mother and Father, we always raise our palms up to the heavens. So we're going to ask from the great central sun for the light of Heavenly Father to come down to us and to come through our crown, down through our channel, and begin to express it out through our chakras. And feel how far out around you that light can expand for you. And you might feel a reception of that feeling and tingling in your hands. Just breathe deep. Make sure your feet and your consciousness is anchored down into the earth, because we don't want you just up high. We want you anchored deep, deep as you can go, from here to Hawaii, down into the earth. And allow your mind to be quiet. Excellent. See if you can begin to feel the love in your heart. Radiate that love out into the world. So now take a breath and come back here in the room where you're at with us. This is how you begin to see the illumination of your light, your spiritual light, out and around you. No matter how far you could get it today, it's a movement every time you begin to do it, because it's going to also bring up maybe something about yourself that you need to love more. Good morning, Kathy Marino. Thank you for joining us. Oh, the ink went empty. Good sign. All right. Now, so this is a simple way to really begin to be working. And what you're going to find, as you can feel that energy in your heart, you're going to have a purpose come to a flame, and that you'll want to do more to find out more about that. You know, deep in our heart, there's an awakening that wants to belong. And the question becomes, well, how do I belong? Where is that belonging? And it's a deep love in yourself and your relationship with Mother and Father that activates you into discovering more, growing more. So to do that, you need to also take time and love you. Let's say you have an issue of getting hurt by your friends. Well, that's not a truth. It should never be that you let other people disturb you and give them that power. So you need to find out, what about yourself do you let disturb you? What about your thoughts that makes you feel not beautiful, loving, and innocent? So you want to find yourself either a mentor or a healer to help you through with those things, because your greatest challenges are far deeper than you can see. It's always the truth. And that's why there's the blessing in having someone who can see through all that, to have that vision that has no restriction, that can see where that's coming from, what lifetime. And you'll be amazed to see and hear how exactly that is where you're at and what you can possibly remember and bring up. So, how does everyone feel with that light? Chase, does that feel stronger to you today or the same? Had you already done it this morning? So as I give her time to write, did everyone remember today's the new moon? Last night you could have written down all those things, whether you want to change things or have more powerful experiences in your life, and you gave them out to the grandmother moon. Know they're in action, because we had said, do them as if you have them. We've been working here together on every week asking for unexpected income. I have to say, because I didn't just say it to here, I said it to some of the girls in the master group. They had some powerful things come back to them, maybe 3 times. It kept coming. So I think it's a good practice to constantly ask to receive unexpected income. It helps you learn the belief. Plus, it lets you know that God's there with you and he's going to bring what you need, whether you ask or not. And that's a powerful thing. So we talked about the Elohim yesterday, and I went through the 7 of them. So why don't we begin to work harmoniously together? And what we can do is, how I envisioned it is to create an energy that will go around the world for all those who might want to feel it and tap into it. Because the first one, I told you, can be the most difficult, but I think it's also the most powerful. El Moreh is the Elohim, and I'll remind you, here's Chase's answer. It does feel strong today, and the hands are vibrating stronger. Very good, Chase. I wanted someone to say, every day it can possibly get stronger because you're connecting deeper into your spiritual being. Okay, Julie, definitely happened, and it was so unexpected. Really, really great. You know, this is how you begin to really understand what spirituality is about. It's about so much beyond what people want to label it as. You're working on becoming and acknowledging your humanness, but first you recognize your soul, and eventually then you'll become your true spirit. What does that do? That lets you become a vessel that lets God come and work through you. It's never to be that yourself, but you can be the vessel that allow God to work through and to come and to speak and heal people. It's very powerful. So let's go back to Ray 1, blue. It's kind of this color, blue. Is it why I always wear blue? Blue has become an infinite color for me in my work. Like when I would go to Shasta, I would usually wear the blue shirt and the blue pants, or white. I usually would wear white or blue. And it's kind of it brings the greatest strength for me. For I'm willing to do. Willing to do what? I'm willing to be representative for the energy of God and to hold a vessel that He can work through. But there's a lot of different things that you can become in alignment, willing to do. You can become willing to love yourself. You can be willing to learn about positive thought, willing to be open to receive, willing to be grateful. You see, there's a lot of things in the world that you may want to look at more than you have. And by bringing that blue light, you bring it down from the great central sun where mother and father live, unless they're living in your heart. And you allow it to come down and touch your crown and move into your heart. So let's all do that much, and let's see what you respond to there. So we're going to call out to the great central sun, Mother, Father, please bring us the first ray of the Elohim, Hercules and El Moreh, down through our crown, and let's let it sit within our heart at first. And just take a few breaths. Good. What does that energy feel like? Is it calming? Is it like getting you excited? Can you feel movement? What is it that's occurring to understand what that blue light feels like? It's different than regular light. It's different than yellow light. They all have a unique persona or godliness, however you want to call it. So let's see who can respond to me, what that blue light feels like, bringing it down inside their heart. And then you can imagine the blue light becoming that, like we did the God light, let it move out around you. Just be a orb of blue light. Does that feel different than when it was just God's light? Because there's going to be some times when you need the persona of the will. I am willing. Did you know that there's not one healing that can happen unless whoever wants the healing is willing to? All right, experiment. Good morning. I'm going to do angels, messages, a couple of them right before I leave. But good morning and thanks for coming. I'm going to be doing a whole morning of them soon. I'll let you know. It'll be on my page, how the schedule's going to work. Chase, that's very interesting. It's very calming. Just think about being willing instead of having the fight. And that's why that's calming to you. Good. Very good. All right, blue light, calming. Anyone else have a response? Calming and exciting at the same time. A new perception. What a great word. Knowing that it's preparing you for Ray 2, which is about perception, you see. So willingness is, let's say you're willing to be part of the experiment, if that's what you want to call it, the experience, the movement, the walking, the journey. I can't tell you what you're going to see on that journey because everybody's journey is unique and it's your own, and you've been on it already for a multitude of years. Personally, I've had 149,000 lifetimes. It makes me tired to think about it. How about you? I know there was someone, this little man that I didn't know who he was. We met these people and they said, you got to call this guy. We called him. He knew us. We didn't know him. And he wrote out whole pages of what he knew about us. It was amazing. Yes, that level of intuitiveness and clarity does exist when you keep working and clearing the aura, clearing your 144,000 pieces of you. That can be a goal. All right, Carrie, calming, very nice. Blue is related to authenticity for me. Well, that's not a bad thing. I guess if someone isn't willing, they're not being authentic. So that makes a truth for me. So I want you to think now of something you would like to have in your life. I know for the new moon, we thought as if we already had things. So you can also take that and let's let the energy of blue fill it and be around it. And what you're going to notice is a lot of whatever it was that was in the way of allowing it to be here today is going to start dissolving into the blue, which means it's exciting. It's getting closer. You see? Very good. You know, all these rays, like we have a personality ray, we have a soul ray, we have a teaching ray. It depends for everybody on what ray means something to you. So you could have the blue ray as your soul ray, but your personality ray could be the white clear ray. There's those people who want to know all those things specifically that help them understand their journey and where they're going and how to know how the lessons are coming. Because lessons come on a sweet energy unless we're angry about our path, and they tend to show up negatively. Doesn't mean it's wrong, doesn't mean it's not happening, but that would mean somewhere inside you there's a great anger that you need to overcome by giving the purity of your love and acceptance. You know, we can take the worst level of anger, and as we begin to accept it, the anger dissolves. For it was only there to get your attention. And that's what's so hard sometimes for people to understand. Patterns are there to let you love yourself more. They're covered over places where you've ignored, or you've put it away, or you don't want to hear it or see it. So when those situations come up for you, you should go, oh, I know here, first I got to go with blue. Let the blue embrace it. Let me become willing to see it, maybe to really hear what is going on here. I worked with someone about sight, and they found out that they were afraid of sight, what they would see. Way back when they were little, they saw bad things. Not to get into it, but that can be changed. And then immediately the truth can happen and you'll see. So we have an interesting format, all of us, in how we are and why we are and how our journey is meant to be. And not one has ever been the same. We have all the same patterns. I think I mentioned that earlier. But when they come up and how they show themselves may all be different. So it's all about paying particular attention to what's going on in your life. Let's think for a moment. See if you can find one thing in your life that's not really like how you would like it to be. And see if you can find the words. Getting the impression of what that is doing in your life is so very important because it's just not there. Every situation is a teaching lesson. And when you're about to where you can get to where you're learning lessons, it's very, very powerful. So let's think of that one thing that you have, and let's see how it acts out, which is going to also tell you the level of soul you're on. If you throw a tantrum, then that's a very young soul. And it goes on. I won't continue that discussion today, but we'll come back to it. But anyway, you want to begin to giving it love. And you can work with the rays to begin to help it. What about that, whatever it is, that you're not willing to see? That you're not willing to bring it into your world? So if you find something's contrary, well, then you must look within yourself. Where are you contrary? Things mirror each other. And that's a very hard thing for people to understand when they have judgment and criticism. We don't want to think of ourselves as contrary or angry or all those kind of things. So we ignore them. We shove them down deeper every time they come up. And if you would only hear me and instead embrace them, maybe there's some far deep part in you that needs love. It needs you to have acceptance of it. Perhaps there was a part of you in some lifetime that had a violent anger, and now you're afraid of it. So instead of trying to adjust to it, it's just better to hide it, and you don't want to know about it. But you can feel it percolating in there, and you kind of take yourself away from some situations. But if you can get to where you can understand it's a lesson and not take things so personally, you see, that's in that first level of humanity, is we take everything personally. It's in the 4 chakras and the four lower chakras. It's like we could have a big bucket of those 4 lower chakras and put all the crap in it. And that would be how you're working out of your humanity. And as you get up to where you begin to be in the heart chakra, that is your capacity to begin to change. Because your throat, your third eye, and your crown, and the others above there are all higher chakras. They won't have a personality that reacts. So wherever it is you are, it's imperfection. But for these things that will come up and show you, love me. Why don't you love me? You may have a situation with family or friends that right now aren't loving you and you don't know why. Well, the message here could be is because you're not loving you. And if you can decide to love you and put down all the reasons why and who and this and that, all that, and just be the love you are, the world changes. And people change because they were only in the participation of your pattern coming to the head. And I know you have to sometimes be in it to hear it and to get it, but it is that simple. The challenge is finding these issues that are coming up. Let me see. Yes, Timber Ross. It could be why there's no rain. A collective consciousness of beings, which we never see it as a blame. It's an evolution of resolving the distortion of how we see ourselves. But it could bring about change. Changing consciousness changes health and the world that you see around you. It's an interesting thing. It's much more than a teeny tiny thing. That's why so many of the things we do, we put out around the world. I want you to learn that every thought you have today is not just affecting you. It's affecting the universe. And if you can get where there's the Maharishi attempted to do this years ago for everyone to do his mantra, the bija, and bring peace into the world. But it was difficult. People didn't all want to do it at the same time. But it is truly feasible that it can be done that way. So let me write down these few names here. Marby, good morning. So I want you to see and try to every day, do your best, bring in that light of God, and then bring in that blue light of Ray 1. And let's begin to see what changes. So the Rice experiment says, our family does reflect our emotions back to us like a mirror. And you know why they do that? I need to know relationship. This is what you're putting out, your aura. I need help. Someone love me. Someone create a situation. And that's what family and your partners are for. It's said that your person you are in love with is your mirror of your God self. And your God self would want you to grow. So sometimes they become that tick, 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 while at other times they become that great love. It can be both. And good morning, Christina. It's wonderful to see everybody today. So that's what we're going to do for the rest of the week. Is we're going to bring in the white light, God's light from the great central sun, and then feel that, let it experience itself. Your hands can tingle, and then call in the blue light of El Morey, Ray 1, the Hercules. So here's the one thing about Hercules being in Ray 1. He is the only being who can remove karma for you, if you ask. But it must be from a heart space. None of the ascended masters can do that for you. He can. I've had it done for people I've worked with for a few times, but you don't want to make it an overdue thing. It's when it's really necessary. All right? So, any questions? It's like every day we're getting a little bit deeper into understanding what it really is all about. It's much more than, oh, I'm spiritual. You know how they say you got to walk your talk? They want to know that you're doing this work and unwinding deep inside you and figuring out, well, what's going on with you this week? Let me just say, my journey was there was always something. People I work with, sooner get past one thing and all this illumination light comes and the next thing shows up. So don't get discouraged in that. That is the spiritual journey. It is healing those 144,000 pieces because there are some of them that aren't healthy, that are in darkness and don't know love. And that's what your participation with it is all about. You see? Now, there was a couple people that wanted to read healing today. An angel message. Mm-hmm. It's almost like we forget what that was, right? No, I don't. But I am going to take it and do these two. I know you pay too, is it? Rice experiment. There you go. And then there was someone else. So I want you to really feel the energy when my energy changes to go up very high, where I go to where the angels and others are, to bring an awareness. It's just not a happenstance that's going to happen on the street. It's taken me years of clearing and learning, getting to know different beings in different places. But what I'm trying to help you do here is feel this energy that's around you and how it can feel and you respond to it so that you can understand where it is you're going. If you're on your spiritual path, this is where you're all going to end up or get to or find what's powerful for you. So let's do this for Rice experiment. So we're just going to start breathing up. And if you remember, I would come to like a big open stage up in the clouds. And yes, there are a lot of people here today because I haven't been back here. So I imagine rice experiment here. I would like an angel message for the rice experiment. And someone with a lavender scarf comes from way on the left. And she's going to come down the 3 steps. And she's showing me a small, I don't know what they're called, but they make tones, sounds. Her wings are the same lavender that she has around her head. She says, sound is healing for you. Sound will heal your wound. So I'm going to ask, she's not going to share the wound because we have a lot of people here. But rice experiment, you know what she means. It doesn't matter how you hear it or what you have bring that sound to you, but sound is needed for upliftment and a clearing and an allowing of the love to come into that which is. So there you go, rice experiment. Let's see how that works for you. Gotta go back down. She just says, okay. Okay. Now, there was someone else before she came. Good morning, good morning. Does anyone remember? I'm not seeing it. Oh, pure positive energy. I hope you're still here. You're probably very aligned to the 4th ray, Claire, clear light. All right. So we're going to go up again. So when I do that, I'm seeing the light language. It's telling me I'm going to whatever I'm seeing and where I was before is totally changing. The background and all will be the same, but it's a different level. Okay, here we are. Well, I have to share with you what shows itself to me. And in this staging, there is a cloud of, it is more of a tint of blue than white, but there is a young angel upon it. And he's saying to me, look, up here I am. I came for her today. So I'm going to ask him, is he coming down here? No, you can hear me, can't you? Yes, I can. He wants to bring you pink. Pink is the energy of the love. He shows me like a beaker of pink, and he's going to pour it down to you to let it be in your heart. And it's the purest love, he's saying, right from the top people. So I want you to open your heart and just let that pink, let this beautiful, deep, rosy pink come into your heart. And his last words are, all you need is love. Very powerful. All you need is love. So there you go, pure positive energy. You're getting some pure positive love. So let's go down and see. Oh, Rice Experiment says, thank you. I was looking for something practical. That was a perfect message. You know, for whatever gift that is for all of you, God is asking me to bring it back. It's a gift he gave me, so I will use it for however long until it's time to move on along. Is Pure Rice Experiment still on? No, Pure Positive Energy. That's who it was, right? Pure Positive Energy. So, any questions from everyone else? Things are going to be kind of, I'll always be here, but things will be in a little bit of, yes, Jesus is tomorrow. What will be best for you to do is to go to the comment page and let me know if there's things you want to know about. And one day this week, Douglas will come on and give you another whole level of areas that you can ask about. So where are we at? See, we're going to start running over, but that's okay with me. There's days I can't, but it's all right. So Chase is saying she would love an angel message. So the only thing I have to tell you is I cannot give everyone one today, but I'll do Chase. She's always so here and first every time I open. But we will have that day like we used to when I do everybody. So let's go up to where the angels are. Maybe you can feel the energy move. I'm beginning to see not the, but a landscape. All right. Chase, I see you upon an earth in the night, at least in space. But there's the earth. And you're there, just you. You know, sometimes there's a tree, but I do not even see a tree. Ah, I see a very small bird come to you. And you put out your little hand for it to be able to have a rest. So this message says to you, or maybe it's the bird, you have a great perception. And why they have brought you here is to overcome your fear of beyond that which you know. And part of what you will choose to do and become as a vessel will be beyond what you know. So this is a place for you to have to go to, perhaps for once in a while for meditation, because you need to understand that instead of you being upon the earth, see how long it takes you to bring the earth within you. Yes, it's true. We all think we live upon the earth, and yet the earth lies within us. So with this issue that they're saying for you of a fear of that which you aren't aware of, they're wanting you to sit here upon this place and begin to work inside your being to discover that the earth has been within you all along. All along. It is you that tends to forget that it is home. Whatever it looks like, whatever it sounds like, whatever it smells like, whatever it shows itself as. And let's just all take a breath and feel that energy, huh? It's almost like you feel like you could reach out and touch a star. Well, then there's another question. So then where are the stars? They're all inside, my friends. The true experience of you. Many blessings. Let me see the thing change. Thank you, Marmy. Thank you. Now, Carrie would love an angel message. Let me see what my time is, because I do have someone at 12. Okay, one more and that's it. And we will probably do them on Thursday. We'll have Angel Day. I'll put it up on my page. Does that work for everybody? I know Miss World Traveler just got home from a world traveling. So let's see where we're going. Oh. So there's an angel come that wears all white. And she has a gold coin to place upon your hand. Yeah. When you take and touch that coin, know it is an accumulation of all the wealth, which is beyond that which your mind can conceive. And be awake as to what you do with it. Because it's going to have you look upon wealth differently. What can be in that coin? Every moment of existence you had throughout time, or every moment that you have throughout time yet to experience. What can it be? This is the gift she leaves you so that you begin to think more expansive. Many blessings, Gary. Woo! Julie Johnson, I will give you an angel message on Thursday. How's that? So I'll be there. Tell some of your friends that used to love to come. I'll be there. And you're welcome, Chase. Yes. And I guess we'll go back to that. You see, this way I can mix a little bit of teaching with a little bit of teaching from the angel way. And who else? Let me see. I'm excited for Doug to be able to come and speak to you, and you'll feel how energy can activate who you are. All right. Many blessings. Thank you for coming. And it was a wonderful experience today. I hope you enjoyed it. Many blessings. Thank you.